Welcome back to the Community Review on Hot 92.3. I'm Josefa Salinas, your host. Well, it's that time of year again. You heard me talk about it last year, the Heroes of Hope. It is an amazing event that happens out at Dockweiler Beach. It's the annual Heroes for Hope Race for Brain Tumor Research. It's time to get up and either run or walk or just come on out, bring the kids, strollers, dogs. It's a huge event out at the beach. Last year, there were over 1,000 people there. We want to get about 5,000 people out there. This year, there's going to be an expo, lots of food, beverages, fun for the kids, airbrush tattoos, face painting, bounce house. It's just so much fun, but the best part about it is you are out there helping raise money for the research for brain tumors. And everybody knows how important that is to me because by now, unless you're a first-time listener, everybody knows that 5 years ago, I had a brain tumor. It was an emergency situation. I woke up one day and 48 hours later, I was in a 9-hour brain surgery. And it totally changed my life and that of my family. So anything that I can do to help, raise money for research so that other families don't have to go through what I went through, or at least have resources for coming out the other side of it, I will do it. In the house with us today to talk about this Heroes for Hope race, Harvey Mason Jr. Good morning.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fabulous. Fabulous. It's good to have you here.
Thank you for having me. This is a great occasion. I'm really excited to talk about this.
Well, it's good to have you here. So I know you have a very personal story about why you're involved with this. So why don't you tell the audience?
Well, about 2 years ago, we were driving home and I saw a sign on the side of the road near where we live in Manhattan Beach. And it was talking about the Heroes of Hope race for research. And I was with my daughter who had just maybe 5 months prior to that come out of a really tough brain surgery and subsequent radiation treatment for a cancerous tumor that they found in her brain. So when we saw the sign, my daughter immediately said, "Dad, we should get involved with this. We should do this." And I was a little surprised because she didn't really talk about it a whole bunch. But when she saw the sign, I think it impacted her and definitely had an impact on our family. We wanted to get involved. And from that point on, we gathered friends. We did everything we could to promote the race. My daughter actually ran in the 5K, which is the 3 miles. And it was just shortly after her radiation treatment, so we were all really excited and really proud of her for completing the run. She actually brought a lot of her friends, promoted the race, and raised quite a bit of money. And so now this year, we want to do it bigger and better than last year.
Definitely. Well, I know right now we're going to give out the web address. If people want to get involved, you can go to heroesofhoperace.org and sign up, get a team together, and come on out. Or you can just, if you don't want to run, you don't want to walk, just donate. It's an amazing, amazing organization. The race proceeds fund UCLA Cedars-Sinai and Children's Hospital of Los Angeles ongoing brain tumor research.
And that's where we actually were. We
really?
were at Cedars, or actually at UCLA, where she had her surgery. Then we were at Children's LA. Both amazing facilities, did great work with my daughter. And every time we go back for a checkup appointment, they're doing something else special with it, with someone who needs help. And so we're really excited and really proud to have the money raised here actually stay in LA and help kids that are dealing with this right in the local area.
Now, what do you know about this Gray Ribbon Crusade?
I know it's a big deal. I know it's all across the country. I know they're doing great things to raise money and raise awareness. And this race in LA is one race in a long line of many races and many fundraisers that are going to go a long ways to gather and collect a bunch of money and raise awareness for, brain cancer and tumor research.
Yeah, because there's so many different types of tumors, so many different ways people can be affected. I think that people get used to when you're sick, there's a certain way you act and there's a certain result from it. And brain tumors are one of those things that so many different types of brain tumors, so many different results, malignant, benign, radiation, no radiation. Sometimes they do surgery, sometimes they don't. So there's so much research, and it's relatively new in the fact that, I don't know, when I was growing up, I didn't know anybody who had a brain tumor. Now, it's like everywhere you go, if I mention my brain tumor, they go, "Oh, yeah, so-and-so's sister had a brain tumor, or so-and-so's brother had a brain tumor," or, "Oh, yeah, I had a brain tumor."
Well, I think there's 4,000 children every year, and I believe 65,000 adults diagnosed with some sort of brain tumor. So there's a big need for research. There's a big need to really follow up on why is this happening? How can we deal with it? How can we, I guess eradicate is a strong word, but how can we minimize this happening to other people? And how can we treat people better and try and cure this?
Yeah, I'd be really interested in knowing how much it's gone up in the last 10 to 20 years, the incidence of brain tumors, because everybody knows that I firmly believe that cell phones have a huge impact on brain tumors, and so does the World Health Organization. If you go to worldhealthorganization.org, they have a very, very extensive report that I urge you to read, and I urge you to read especially if you have children and you allow your children to talk on a cell phone. Once you read that report, you probably will never let them put a cell phone to their head again. But thank you so much for being a part of this. Again, the event is happening on Sunday, the 6th of November at Dockweiler State Beach. And if you don't know where that is, it's just south of LAX. You go probably the Imperial Highway
The dead
exit.
ends.
Yeah, it dead ends at Dockweiler. Imperial Highway dead ends right there. Beautiful beach.
Running along the ocean.
Yes.
Thousands of people. It's a great time. We did it last year. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's such a great, and it's a fun place to be. They've got a little cafe right there, or you can bring food. There's going to be lots of food and beverage vendors and
Quite
things,
a
right?
few food trucks and healthy food vendors, things like that. A lot of survivors will be running. A lot of families will be running. People bring their dogs and kids, so it's a great event.
Again, the 6th of November, Dockweiler State Beach for the annual Heroes of Hope Race for Brain Tumor Research. You can go to heroesofhoperace.org. It's a 5K, a 10K, a walk, or a run. And there's also a kids' fun run. Lots of fun things to go on out there. Just come on out and spend the day with us. I'm going to be out there. My whole family will be out there. And if you want to do, if you're somewhere around the country listening and you can't get here for this, go to the GrayRibbonCrusade.org so you can find info on organizations and resources about really, really helping for brain tumor research across the nation. You want to help right here in town, heroesofhoperace.org. Come on out, have a lot of fun with us. And Harvey, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me. Hopefully we'll see you November 6th.
Oh, for sure. As we keep moving through the community, we come across an organization that's doing some amazing things. It's Movies by Kids for Kids, and they have a huge film festival and awards ceremony happening October 29th, 2011 at the Writers Guild Theater right there on South Doheny Drive in Beverly Hills. And with us is the founder of Kids in the Spotlight. She's got an amazing program, one of the most innovative programs that I've ever seen. What kid doesn't want to make a movie and be in it? At least at some point in their life, they do. Or YouTube wouldn't be so full of foolishness. With us this morning, Ty G. Charity.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
It's fabulous to have you here.
It is fabulous to be here.
Now,
Thank you.
tell me all about Kids in the Spotlight. What made you decide to start it?
Oh my gosh, that is such a great question. After working a corporate job for 15 years in insurance, various insurance companies, I was laid off in May of 2009. But prior to that, I had an opportunity to visit Penny Lane. It's an all-girls group home in North Hills about 5 years ago. And I had a chance to tour the facility. And when I walked around the dormitory, I saw all of these twin beds and maybe about 20 10 beds in a room. And all these girls just kind of showing you their space. And above their bed, they had personal items like photos, and underneath the bed they had dresser drawers where their personal items were. And I remember thinking to myself, how is it that these kids are in the foster care system, and I was fortunate to be raised with a mother and a father? And at that moment I wanted to do something to give back. Then I saw certain girls in the corner acting out, and I'm thinking, why are they acting out? And it dawned on me later, they're not acting out, they're crying for attention. They really just saying, see me, see me. So I kept thinking, what can I do to give back? And I just didn't know what to do. I said, if I mentor them, I'm coming from a place of sympathy, and that's not going to help them nor me. So I did nothing because I didn't know what to do. I just let it ride. I thought about them every now and then. So fast forward 5 years later, February of 2009, when I was laid off from my corporate job, it was late one night. I think it was on a Good Friday. I was lying in bed crying, like, what's next? I don't even want to do the corporate thing anymore.
I know that feeling.
I want to do something that makes a difference, something to give back. And I was crying and praying, like, God, what am I here for? Why am I here? You have got to. So after I finished having my pity party, bawling and all of that, about 2:00 in the morning, I started recalling those girls from Penny Lane. And all of a sudden, Kids in the Spotlight, giving kids an opportunity to tell their stories their way, giving them that platform form. And I jumped out of my bed, and I'm not a journal, person who actually writes everything down, but I own a journal because everybody owns a journal, so it's the right thing to do.
Plus, we're girls, and we journal. We write in our diaries.
Exactly. But I was so happy that I even knew where it was because I never used it. So I jumped up and dried the tears away, and I just began to write it all out. Movies by kids for kids, a program where kids can create, write, cast, and star in their own movie. Give them the entire element of the industry because I'm intrigued by it, and I've had a chance to do a little something on the side in casting and exposed to these areas of the industry that I knew nothing of growing up when I was pursuing my career. And I'm like, wouldn't that be a great way to give back to these kids in the foster care facility? And the next day I called We the People and got set an appointment to go and get the business incorporated, to check the name, and we've been running ever since.
So let's talk about the event. It's the Film Festival and Awards Ceremony hosted by Tatiana Ali and Harry Lennox.
Yes.
It is at the Writers Guild Theater on South Doheny Drive in Beverly Hills, October 29th. VIP reception from 2 to 3, awards ceremony from 3:30 to 5:30. Let's talk about what's going on.
Absolutely. Well, the VIP red carpet is where the kids come. They walk the red carpet with celebrities. We have a silent auction because it's also a fundraiser to raise money for the 10 weeks program. So people come and they tour the different areas of the silent auction. They have hors d'oeuvres. They meet the kids. They mingle. We have a lot of media there, and kids are getting exposure in that way. And after that 1 hour of the reception, we transition into the auditorium where we screen the films that were written throughout the year, that were produced throughout the year, and then we transition after all the screens are filmed. After all the screens, the films are seen, we transition into the awards ceremony. It's our version of the Oscars. So we take these kids' films and we send them to various working actors with the ballot, and they get to vote on best film, best story, best actor, best supporting, and things like that. So during the awards ceremony, we actually put up the films that have been nominated, and then the actual presenters come out. They open the ballot and they name the nominees. The nominees for best actor is,
right,
and they start naming our kids. And the winner goes to, and the award is called the Jordan Award.
Now, why the Jordan Award?
It's actually in memory of a really, really dear friend of mine who passed about 2 years ago. She's an actress, beautiful young lady, 40 years old, and so in memory of her, and her beauty, her spirit is just so beautiful. So the Jordan Award it represents just beauty and the industry as a whole, because she was an actress, phenomenal actress. So that's why it's called the Jordan Award.
Well, again, it is the Movies by Kids for Kids Film Festival and Awards Ceremony happening October 29th at the Writers Guild Theater, 135 South Doheny Drive in Beverly Hills. The VIP reception is from 2 to 3, awards ceremony from 3:30 to 5:30. And if you want more information, you can go to Kids Inc.?
Yes, it's either kidsinthespotlight.org or it's kids, KITSINC.org. So KIDS is just the acronyms for
Kids in the Spotlight.
Yes.
.org is way easier to remember. Kidsinthespotlight.org for more information. Get your tickets now. It's tax deductible.
Yes.
Come on out and support amazing film. You might see the next Spike Lee. You might see the next Steven Spielberg.
Absolutely.
You never know.
You never know.
But you'll be able to say, wow, I saw that kid's 10-minute film when he was 15 or she was 16.
Exactly.
And now look at her. You never know. And thank you
know.
so much for coming up with this program. What an amazing program.
Thank you.
If there's ever anything that we can do, please let us know. We would love to be a part of this. Just absolutely amazing. And we will support you every way we can. All this information will be up on my webpage at hot923.com, keyword Josefa. And you come back and see us anytime.
I'd love to. Thank you.
Ooh, there's more coming up. Are you ready for a spooky good time in the cemetery this Halloween? How about a little Charles Dickens, Edgar Allan Poe, Mark Twain, and more in the mausoleum and the cemetery at night? Ooh, it's spooky theater, and it's coming up next on the Community Review, Hot 92.3. Don't go away.